they told people in the hallway of the apartment building that they were picking me up for murder. So I tried to like get some justice on that cop beating us up, but you can't look like me and get justice. I would never presume to know what it's like to be an African American completely, but I do know what it's like to be discriminated against because of the way I look. I most definitely experience that on a daily basis. When I go into, I get followed by loss prevention in every store. Now, it's my own fault I'm uber observant, and I notice these things. I mean, these loss prevention guys are just fucking knuckleheads, and they do the same, and so I'm constantly being followed around to that. You know, I see women cross the street so they don't have to walk by me. I'm 6'4", and I'm covered in tattoos, and I got really long hair and piercings. So apparently that scares people. My bad. Anyway, that's probably why that little James West beat us up. He's probably scared. He's probably peeing his little panties when he's looking at me. Like, oh my God, this guy could like eat me or something. Like this giant monster of a person standing here with his hands up. Because that's where all this bullshit comes from, fear. All those cases ended in, I had tons of charges from when that piece of beat me up. Tons. Like they charged us up with maddening amount of right? And then like a bunch of that was just like gone. And then I was fighting the drunken driving part of it, and then I got another drunken driving, and I'm like, oh, well, that's gonna obviously be trying to convince him, well, you weren't drunken driving the first time when you just got another drunken driving. So I think it all washed out where most of my both came out of the Clackamas County drunken driving. Like I had, and at that point in my life, I was just like, this shit, I'm not dealing with it, and I just went on having a warrant mode. Just wouldn't deal with, just wasn't dealing with it. So that's the way I kind of rolled there for some years. And like, I mean, I was like some years on that mode, and I did it without running into any more cops somehow for a long time, because I had warrants for years. I had been on having a warrant for failure to deal with my court issues for a number of years, and I was driving and doing everything I'd normally do. So I only remember being pulled over once and having an issue. So I was with my girlfriend, and she wanted to go to the nude beach. That's a creepy place. Freaking creepy dudes in the bushes. So we go to the nude beach. On the way back, get pulled over. Now this was her trip, you know. She's like, let's go do this and blah blah blah. Okay. We didn't get a parking pass, and that's how that area financed its police force, I guess, was through you had to pay to park to go to the nude beach. If you didn't have the parking pass, they would literally pull you over and give you a ticket. I think you had to pay like, I don't remember how it worked. Anyway, I got pulled over and just gave the guy a fake name. And the guy actually, and then he made my girlfriend drive, and then he actually said, oh, you wouldn't believe how many people we catch out here with warrants. And the thing is, is when you get picked up in one of these little podunk areas, your life just becomes a living hell in transport. Because they can stick you in some county jail, and then they're waiting for somebody to come pick you up. And generally that's like somebody from the county, like a cop. And they send that cop over there to get you, unless it's like across the country. But then sometimes they put them on planes, buses, yeah. So anyway, he lets my girlfriend drive and we go. No issue. Same girlfriend in her apartment, and the cops come like literally looking for me. I don't remember, and I'm pretty sure it was just because the FBI said I'm looking for me. And they arrested me on all those warrants that I had, took me in, and the FBI was in there to question me when I was brought in. They gave me all my court date stuff and let me go the same day. Well, they had told the people in the apartment building, again, cops lie, okay? They told all these people, it was like college housing, my girlfriend was in college, and I was staying in her apartment with her, and they told people in the hallway of the apartment building that they were picking me up for murder. So after they let me go a few hours later, and I got back to the apartment building and people were looking at me terrified, cops lie, the FBI told me at that point just to pay it back. I seriously wish I had, but I really hadn't gotten into the situation where I could. Now I'm going really far ahead in life, so I'm just telling the interactions with the police. I'm not really telling the whole stories behind them, because this is later in life. Oh, I forgot the whole Polly thing, but I've already told that story, so that would have been way back. And that was when those two cops showed up, and that was like, I guess I was like 16, but that was like so nothing. And it's a seriously up thing in my record. Hugely up. Forced rape with a handgun. Yeah. And the cop said, and I quote, "Sounds like a good time when..." That's literally what the cops said when they left. Nothing ever came of it because it was a lie. Those cops, those weren't like regular cops. Those were detectives. So my engagement with cops has been with just regular cops wearing regular cop outfits, not the detective cops. So that time was the detective cops, and that was a whole different experience. Like, those cops didn't lie. Like, those cops, they could have just ruined my life. I mean, holy sex offender. But then again, it would have gone to trial on something like that, and then probably would have come out as bull in the trial. But anyway, they didn't lie, and they were nice. They didn't beat us up. They didn't nothing. They were just, you know. So, you know, there's different types of cops, obviously. And at this point, though, there's been a concerted effort to militarize the police, to promote within, to hold up a certain set of like the whole blue wall thing, right? So the militaristic, fascist, and that is all, you know, since that interaction. You know, this was the 80s. That was the 80s. You know, things are different now. So anyway, most of my interactions were with uniformed officers, and they've been horrible. And it's not like, you know, I was doing anything to, you know, anyway. Yeah, so that last time when those cops arrested me and came for me in that apartment, I was hiding. Like, literally hiding in the apartment. I had hidden my gun underneath a pillow, and the cops uplifted that pillow and found the gun. It's like, God damn it. I didn't even get a gun charge. Oh, I forgot another time for this. I was living in my truck. I had this job at the coast at a buddy's house at Seaside. So I was staying out there and working, and then, so anyway, I was bopping around, living in the truck. I mean, it wasn't that glamorous. A cop, I was looking for a place to sleep, actually, and the cop, I made a traffic pattern had changed, like this area that I'd grown up in, like you could just always turn at this one spot. And I was, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go there and tuck up back open here and get some sleep. Well, there was a cop, saw me make this turn, and I literally, he's like telling me this, and I'm like not even believing him. I'm like, are you no, I was like arguing with him, right? So anyway, he arrests me for warrants, and I had a gun with the numbers chiseled off of them. I always carried guns for a number of years. The numbers were actually chiseled off, or however they do it, engraved or ground off, Dremel maybe, off this little pistol. It was under the seat, and this cop, he finds it, man. Okay, so here's a good cop. This cop, right? He pulls me over, he arrests me, he asks me if he could search the truck. I say no. He goes and searches it anyway, finds the gun, comes back and says, I found the gun. And on the way back, on the way to being taken to the jail, I basically just like give him a whole spiel. I'm like, and it was just basically, I'm like, that gun's not there for, this is what I told him, right? I said, that gun's not there for you. I didn't have a gun to shoot at a cops. I said, I'm not shooting people, I'm not robbing people. I said, I live in my truck, all my truck, my tools are in my truck, and I don't make much money. This is why, that gun was cheap. It was like 50 bucks. That's, it was just a cheap gun. Yeah, the numbers are shaved off of it, but, that's why it was cheap. That's why I could afford it, right? I didn't go out looking for a gun with numbers shaved off of it. I went out looking for a gun that I could afford. And I told this cop that. And actually, now that I just think about it, this might have been the worst cop ever, because he might have kept that gun as a drop gun. Now, I'm just totally making that up. I'm going to stay with the guy who was a nice guy. He didn't, the gun just disappeared. Just disappeared. So, I never got a gun charge for that. I would wear a pistol, like a shoulder holstered pistol, or a pistol in my pants for years. And it was just 100% self-defense. Like, it was the 90s. It was crazy. I mean, it was a lot more violent than it is now. I was always rolling around with money and weed. So, I just had a gun all the time. Yeah, and I'll tell the story when I stopped carrying a gun. But I didn't have a felony. I had just misdemeanor. Drunken driving's not a felony. And nothing. I had a bunch of felonies that time that cop beat me up, but he just filed them on me. They all like disappeared like when the DA looked at the charges. I don't think I got any charges either from that. I think he was just happy that he got an arrest and a gun. a free gun. Because I don't even remember the gun showing up on my paperwork. Oh, here's a ultimate retard move. I had a chillum. You know what a chillum is? A chillum is a pipe that you hold between your fingers and you suck here. So you put the pipe here, and this way everybody isn't passing around and lip to lip in the thing. You're just putting your own hand on your own hand, and the pipe's just touching somebody else's hand. So you're not, you know, I think it was like a Native American thing or something maybe. Some people use them like they cup two hands. Ha! Driving with no hands. It's not a good idea. But I got my knees on the wheel. I'm 6'4", I got huge knees. Anyway, I had this chillum in my fanny pack. Hell yeah. How many people can say they had a chillum in a fanny pack? And then how many people can say they had a chillum in a fanny pack and went to court and put the fanny pack on the metal scanner that was brand new? Like they just had put metal scanners in. They had never had them where they could look into. And they're like, what's that? That looks like a human toe. We need to see that. What is that? Yeah. I got a charge for a dirty pipe going into court. Yeah. The world's stupidest criminals.